Hello viewers, you're welcome to another edition of SolidWorks tutorials for beginners. My name remains Vincent Hope, your instructor. So today we're going to be looking at how can we draw a sheet metal cone. You can see the picture here. So let's jump right into SolidWorks and see how it looks like before we commence. So look at it already drawn in SolidWorks. Let me rotate it, right click, rotate. You see how it looks like. Okay, so right click, select. So we're going to jump on how to start doing it. So as usual, we click file, we click new. Part is already selected, so we have a blank screen here. So we come to top plane, select top plane here, then select sketch. Okay, we have a top plane here. So under the sketch menu, we'll go to center rectangle, click center rectangle, click on the center here, draw to an appropriate size, click and close. Okay, now the next thing will be to give dimensions. So we go to smart dimension, click on this point, drag. Let's make this 100, press enter. Click on the second part, we drag. Let's make this area 150, we press enter. Then we close. Okay, so we have this rectangle. Now the next thing is that we're going to curve the edges. So we go to a tool called under sketch, we go to sketch fillet. Sketch fillet, we click sketch fillet. It's reading 10 millimeters, so we're going to use that. So we click on the four edges of the lines that join the four edges. This, you see that edge comes out. This, okay, this, yes, this, and this. Then we click OK. So we have these four edges. Now you can see each edge has been curved. And we click close here. So the next thing we're going to do, we want to cut through, because you cannot achieve what you want to do except you have to cut it through. So we select the center line, then we click from this center point here, click, we draw straight across the rectangle and click here. Then while it's still active here, we go to offset entities, we click offset entities. Offset means it gives you an offset, and the dimension here is the offset distance is 10 mm. Let's make it 2. I click inside here. Okay, then let me undo it because there's something I want you to see. So under we are still here. Let's click offsets. So if I remove bidirectional, it's only in one direction. We can see the offset here only in one direction. If I put bidirectional, it's in two directions. So I click OK. So it is now visible. Now what I want to do, let me zoom it to a larger position. So right click, then I click zoom in and out. Let me zoom it a bit bigger so that we can see it. Okay, let me use pan tool, use the pan tool and take it up a bit. Then I still zoom it again, zoom in, out, make it a bit bigger. Fine. Then I right click and I click select. Then I select these two lines, select the first one, I hold the shift key, select the second one, and I select the option, scroll down here, select the option here for construction. And I click OK. So let me still zoom it again, then zoom in, out, make it bigger. Okay, let's see. Then I right click right click here, click select, then I click trim entities, and when you select trim entities, the power trim is already selected. In between this line, that's why I wanted to trim between them, I trim it. Okay, sorry, Ctrl Z, let me go back. Okay, sorry, let me zoom it properly so that we can see it at the proper, see it more clearly. Okay, and I use pan, I move pan. Okay, now it's more visible here. Then if I click trim entities, the power trim is selected. I come here, I trim. Good. I come here, I also trim. Good. You can see that a space in between two of them, it has been cut. Then I click OK, right click, and I can select now under from zoom to rotate, I said zoom to fit. So this is your shape here. Okay, so then let me click OK here. Okay, then I select this one, I click close here. So this is what we have for now. Now the next step is to go to features menu. We'll go to features menu, we select reference geometry. But before we select reference geometry, let me rotate it to an angle so that we can see what we are doing. If I rotate it like this, okay, I have something like this. So I right click, I click select. By the time I select reference geometry and I click plane, then you see this option here. I click on this here and I come to the top plane. I click top plane. Now the distance between this rectangle here and this plane is already 50, so we're going to use 50. You can adjust it if you want. Then we click OK. So we have this plane and this rectangle here. So we want to work on this, so I can click on this plane. Look at the plane selected here. I click on it, and I select on it now, and I select click, or just select it and come to normal tool. Okay, so I can have the plane. I want to work on this plane. Then the next thing I will do, I go to sketch, take the center circle, just select circle, then click at the center here, click and drag to a particular diameter, then click OK. If you want to give it a particular dimension, you can click smart dimension, click on it. Then it's 46. I can decide to make it 45, press enter. So it's 45 exactly. Click OK. Now, the next thing, I want to make the offset lines here prominent. So to make it prominent, I go to convert entities. I click this one, hold the shift key, and click the second one, hold the shift key, and I click OK. So you can see it has become more visible. Then I will do something else. I will also click this first line, hold the shift key, click the second line, and select the same thing I selected before, which is for construction. Click on construction so that it will aid me in my cutting of this circle too. And I click OK, fine. Then the next thing I will have to do, let me zoom it to a size I can see so that I can do my trimming. I click zoom in and out. So let me zoom it, zoom, make it more visible. Okay, I think this is okay. Right click, click select. When I select, I can go to trim entities. Power trim is already selected. So I cut this through this place, this point too, and I cut through this point too. Good. So these 2 points are now trimmed. So I click OK. I right click, click zoom to rotate, click zoom to fit. Then I also zoom again, rotate. Let me rotate it so that we can see what it's looking like now. Beautiful. Then I right click, I click select. The next thing I want to do now is to remove this plane. So I can click on the plane. This is the plane here. Then I click this option here, hide. So it's done. Then I can now click this option here, okay. So this is what we have here. Beautiful. So I go to the option of sheet metal. Then you see this option here, lofted bend. I click lofted bend. Then I select, there are two options you can select here, bent or formed. Let's use formed. And I select the down, the profile, it said profile, select this one, which is now profile sketch 1. One selected already. Then I click OK. Click OK. You see you have your beautiful cone, flat-sheet cone here. So that is how we can achieve this. And as usual, what we do, we go to 3D views, we go to publish in eDrawings, click OK, and we click OK. And we click OK. Then you click play animate. So you see your sheet cone looking very, very beautiful. Your sheet metal cone looking beautiful. So you are seeing it in different directions. So it's looking awesome. So you can see it now. So we can pause it, then close this. Okay, we are back here. So if you want to feed it to the DX machine, the CNC machine, you have to say it as a DX file. But the first thing you need to do under the sheet metal is to flatten it. So you come here and you click flatten. If you click flatten, you can now use the pan tool, bring it into you see how it looks like with the pan tool. So you can now save this as a DX file. You can call it sheet metal cone, then use it, save it as a DX file, save, then you click save. You see it here. So if you want to go back, let's click edit. Okay, it doesn't even give us the option to go back. Now our sheet metal cone. So I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. So this is where we started from, this point. Okay, I'm trying to select it, this point. Okay, let me close this. Okay, we started from this point. Fine, this is where we started from. So this is your sheet metal cone. So if you have any questions, any observations, anything you want to do or you want to ask us, you can drop it at the comment below. Now you can also do this. Remember, this is a sheet metal cone with a flat edge. So with a rectangle base. If you want to do for a cone, you do the same thing exactly, but this time instead of having a rectangle cone, you will have a circle cone, a circle base, and you do the exact same thing for the process. So I think that can be an exercise you can try out. So you have a circle cone, have a circle base, then also have the same top opening, then you have exactly as a cone. This is a rectangle base. You can have a circle base. So I hope you've enjoyed the lecture. So my name remains Vincent Hope, your instructor for this